Hello, my name is 𝗔𝘄𝗿𝗀, and I'm the General Secretary and CEO of Rotary International and the Rotary Foundation. I'm delighted that I can be here today with Kostya and Natasha Katz, who are this year's 2022 Corrine Passage Spirit of Evanston awardees. Perhaps just tell us a bit about yourselves and how you came to Evanston and a bit about your family background.
So Kostya and I are both originally from Ukraine. I'm from Odessa and I came when I was 7 years old as a child. He came a little bit later and he's from Kyiv. We've really enjoyed making our home here, so we just love this place.
We're really enjoying our lives here, but that actually that underlines just how lucky we are versus what's happening in Ukraine.
And of course, all of us on television are seeing this the terrible tragedy that's unfolded since February in Ukraine. And we've seen more than 7 million people, 7 million refugees leaving Ukraine, fleeing for safety. And thank you so much for having taken in a Ukrainian family. I think this is just fantastic. So tell us a bit about what was your motivation in terms of bringing this family.
Kostya is originally from Kyiv, as I mentioned, and he still keeps in touch with some of the friends that he left when he was 15 years old. One in particular, he got more in touch with, and when the program became available, he immediately applied for the whole family. Unfortunately, the way that things are in Ukraine, men can't leave. And so his friend is still in Ukraine and was unable to come here with his family. So we convinced them that it's still the right move for their kids and for his wife. So as soon as they could come here, we bought our house, and a couple weeks later, they arrived.
So how did they do, Kostya? What was the integration period like? What were those kind of early moments like?
I can only imagine how difficult it is to move to another country during a war. We tried to introduce them to all kinds of beautiful things that Evanston has to offer. I truly believe that we've done everything we could to make that transition as easy as possible.
And I think you mentioned one of the things I think that all of us find attractive about Evanston is this feeling of community, or when something happens, whether it be people coming from Ukraine that need help or whatever the issue, we rally as a community, we do things and we get together, and you sort of embody that spirit of serving, of giving back, of making a difference.
Not just us, John. This community has really amazed us. You know, this whole story of them coming here is not just what we did. Probably 3 days after they arrived, when I realized it's summer, these boys don't have bikes. So I reached out to the community on social media and said, hey, does anybody have a bike laying around their garage that their kid has outgrown? The next day, Max Bike and Goods reaches out to me and said, why don't you bring the boys by? So we go to the shop, they gift each of them a brand new bike, a helmet, a bike lock, like no questions asked. It was absolutely beautiful. So also within the first week, I reached out to the director of our soccer club, the director of 𝗔𝘄𝗿𝗱, Kevin Francis, and I said, you know, I've got these two boys. They love to play soccer. You know, right. Do you think that they can come and practice? And he said, of course, they're part of the team. And they are part of the team. He provided them with jerseys, with everything that they need. And they are full-fledged members of the team. At no cost. At no cost. He even helped get us in touch with the ETHS soccer coach. He wound up participating in the last week of camp and made the varsity soccer team. And so within a month of getting here, he said, I'm never leaving. This is the greatest place. I love Evanston. I love America. You know, that's a wonderful thing to do for somebody who is coming from a war zone, to be able to have such a great experience right off the bat. It's still hard. Obviously, they're very close to their dad. Definitely wish that he was here. But I think that especially the high schooler has adopted beautifully. The middle schooler is, you know, he's working on it. I would say the middle school community has been great also. They've provided lots of support. It's hard to make this kind of transition, but if you're going to do it, this is a pretty good place to do it in.
Sleeping at night without air raids and without suicide drones and Russian missiles flying by is pretty big plus. Again, we're hoping to get to help more families that are still in Ukraine or that have moved to Chicago. But obviously, the ultimate hope is that the war will come to an end soon.
Let me again, just on behalf of the business community the nonprofit community, the civic organizations in Rotary, in fact, the entire Evanston community to really thank you for what you did. And again, congratulations for being the 2022 Corrine 𝗏𝗏 Spirit of Evanston awardees. Again, thank you for everything that you've done, and great to have you here in Evanston.